Hey, good morning. It's me, V. I want to talk to you today about something that I know a lot about. Now, I know a lot about a lot, and I know a little about a lot. But here's something that I lived for 35 years, so I know a lot about it, and that is fear. I wouldn't have called it fear back in the day, but in hindsight, I see that it was fear. Fear of fill in the blank, whatever it is that you can fill in your blank with. Imagine doing that 100 times. I was raised to fear everything. Don't drive in the snow, you'll crash. Women don't go to college, they marry men, so be afraid of that. Don't step out of the familiar. I was raised in it. I knew it inside and out. And here's the thing, I was taught that it would keep me safe. And so what did I do? I feared everything. Now, I didn't walk around saying I was scared of everything, oh my God, I'm scared. I didn't do that. I stayed stuck. I stayed in the familiar. And eventually, I told you I lived 35 years in fear, which ultimately created a victim. Yep, I know it well. And in that space of being afraid, my body thought it was taking care of me because it was preparing me, right? Holding on resources, stopping everything from flowing, just hold still. And my body didn't function right. I got sick. Everything backed up. Energy didn't flow. I got disease in the body. And yes, I can tell you this was maybe 50 to 60% because my fear ruled my life. There's a lot going on in the world right now. And yes, outwardly looking at it, there's a lot to be afraid of in theory, right? Because here's what we really fear: the unknown, right? We fear what we don't know. We fear what we can't control. And so when things look like they're out of control, and who knows, maybe they are, but when we start telling stories around it and we start embellishing it and we start personalizing it, what happens? Our body holds on. It begins to shut down. It begins to tense up. All of the physical things that you can experience is also happening inside of you, in your organs. Everything isn't flowing the way it's supposed to. And here's what I've come to find out. What I feared most in life was thinking differently than everyone else. Think about that for a moment. Let it sink in. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon to be afraid. Everybody's got an agenda for fear. I'm not just talking the big arena. I'm talking your personal day-to-day life. Everybody's got that agenda, right? You may not call it fear, but I want you to take a few minutes and I want you to pause and I want you to hear this message. If it's keeping you stuck, if it's making you feel disconnected, if it's making you feel unsure, if it's contracting you and making you feel small, confused, it's fear. So take a moment, list out the categories of your life, and notice where you feel the most fear. And when you are ready, and I mean you have to be ready to dig into this, you need to come to me and get an elemental reading, the sacred elements. This is a reading where it's like nothing I've ever done before. You are going to lead the session. You are going to intuit exactly what your next steps are. I, as the guide, am going to draw the map, literally, and I'm going to walk you through the change that's going to come from this one reading. I know, it blew my mind when I was told this is what I'll do. And here's the thing. I don't have all the answers yet, but I do know this reading works. And so if you are struggling with the unknown, if you are not certain, if you are feeling confused, if you are ready to go deeper, if you are itching for something more, get with me. Let's talk. Book this reading by emailing me, veronica@veronicadrake.com. It's not on my website. We have to have a conversation via email because it may not be for you. But I promise you, if it is for you, you'll know it. All right. Take care and don't be afraid.